3, 2, 1.
What's up everyone, Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, October 30th, 2018. In this video, I'm going to talk about why Bitcoin is going to dominate from a couple different perspectives. Very simple, common sense perspectives. There are a lot of thought leaders, tech leaders in the space that can probably sell this technically way better than I could ever do it. But I'm going to lay out the simple framework. I'm going to lay out the simple common sense video that you can share with the haters around you that will at least lay out the foundation to what's going on here in this world with cryptocurrency. Let's start with this tweet. When people get antsy about Bitcoin and say it's stupid, it's just because they're scared it's going to explode, and they don't have any. There is absolutely no other reason why anybody in their right mind would waste their time passionately hating on a currency, on a technology. There's no other reason other than they hope that it fails because they're not in on it. And that would be terrible if it explodes and succeeds and they're not in on it. Instead of getting on board the train, they hope for its failure. The same reason most people around you want to see you fail. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're an investor, if you have ideas, a lot of people want to see you fail because they just do. It's pride, it's selfishness, and it's unfortunate, but it's the world we live in. Many of you might know what I'm talking about. Let's talk about a few reasons why Bitcoin is so much better positioned than traditional markets, so much better positioned than banks, and why banks and traditional markets are both in trouble. Let's start here. I just want to point out this article real quick. I won't go over the whole thing. Nearly 10% of all Bitcoins haven't moved in 12 months. As the stock market gyrates wildly, Bitcoin remains surprisingly sedate, and one reason may be that some of the biggest holders are proving to be buy and hold investors. And you can see it. You can see the charts. 10% of Bitcoin wallets, including one that ranks 7th among all of the largest wallets, hasn't had any activity in a year, according to data from BitInfo Charts. The number of dormant wallets has nearly doubled to 15.8 million in this time. Look at the chart. And I'll zoom in a little bit on it just so you see it right there. Cumulative sum in dormant Bitcoin addresses. Look at it rising. Those are holders holding. And this chart is just going to keep going up. One of the things that plays into the value of Bitcoin is its scarcity. 21 million coins. Charlie Lee tweeted and he just said, you know, I'm paraphrasing. He basically said you should own one Bitcoin if you can. There's only ever going to be 21 million. And as more and more people, as you see in this chart, are holding, the value is going to increase exponentially. Many people are going to miss out on this. So you can see since October 16th, the beginning of the Bitcoin lull, this last couple weeks of just sideways trading, the Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500 have dropped 3.4% and 4.4% respectively, while Bitcoin is down less than 1.5%, and 30-day volatility has fallen to its lowest level since December 2016. Dare I say, the last couple weeks, Bitcoin, a little less volatile than traditional stock market. Let's talk about stock market, Dow Jones Industrial Average, because a big argument, many of the haters, is the volatility of Bitcoin. And here's Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin. There's Dow Jones. Bitcoin. Dow Jones. No, that's Apple. There's Dow Jones. Look at Dow Jones. I mean, they look almost identical. The volatility looks almost identical. Look at this couple year period. Everybody remembers this crash that happened around 10 years ago. 55%. And everybody's screaming how Bitcoin's down, over 50% in this last year. Come on. They're not even spewing out facts. My take is we have another retracement coming. I'm not going to get deep into technical analysis or anything, but just looking at moving averages, looking at the move of Dow Jones index of top 30 publicly traded companies, you can see a retracement is likely coming. I don't know exactly when, but this last retracement was what? Let's just call it 40% overextension from the 200 EMA. Here's that pink 200 EMA line. So from there, 40% retracement would look like around a $12,000 on the Dow Jones. You know, everybody knows I love my fib retracement. We can take it from that previous low to this all-time high. And you can see Fibonacci 618, our favorite channel, to 786, retracement. We'll see support there. But what's in there? There's that $12,000. That's what I think the Dow Jones will retrace to. I don't know when, but I think it'll happen. I don't think it's a powerful play to be accumulating over there. Maybe here was, but certainly not here. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin already had a nice retracement. You can see it. So on a very general, simple level, if you don't even understand, technical analysis and charts, if you're just looking and you're like, well, what would I rather buy? It's pretty clear this is a better accumulation opportunity after already huge retracements than here. It's getting ready for a retracement, most likely. Some say 16,000, some say 16,000, 17, 18,000. I'm down here in the 12,000 range. The other thing is Apple. And I talk about Apple all the time. Many people out there don't like it, but you can totally compare Apple and Bitcoin. Why? They're both technologies, and the underlying factor to the movements on these charts, which is why they do look similar if you zoom out, is the thing behind the charts. The thing behind the charts are human beings, emotionally minded human beings. Doesn't matter what the tech is. That's why the charts are all over the place. That's why they're volatile. Look at Apple. Look how volatile Apple. So since 1997 to today, over 50,000% gains. Huge retracements at its early days, like 100% retracements. Huge retracements otherwise. Look at this. And one of their arguments is Bitcoin's too volatile. It's not realistic because it's so volatile. Nothing has changed. It's just we're in a new technology. The benefit here is we're in this area in terms of Bitcoin, right? We're right here. We're right here. We're at the early stage. This is a 30-year chart you see on the screen. Imagine where Bitcoin would be in 20 years. Right? This is Apple we're looking at. Now here's Bitcoin. We're here. So just from a chart perspective, it's looking nice. We didn't even get into the reason for adoption, the reason for cryptocurrency. And I'm not going to talk about it too much. I'm just going to do one simple thing, which is the common sense factor. Here it is. Wire transfer incoming domestic, wire transfer outgoing domestic, $15 transfers incoming, $30 transfers outgoing. I'm a business. I receive wire transfers. I have to send wire transfers. International, even more. And we're talking about $30. So and once you press send, it's not like they get it in a couple minutes. They won't get it till next day. International takes even longer. This is solved. This problem is solved. And the banks, they just don't want you to know it, but this is huge for business to business. My recruiting business, obviously, I have more incoming wires when I fill a role, but there's always a potential to need to do outgoing, right? And when I was in the lead business years ago, I was doing so many outgoing wires. Here's more fees, transaction fees, 50 cents for transactions per item over the number of transactions included with your account. I think there's more. Look, over-the-counter fee, $3 per teller, 3% on international transactions. International purchase transaction, 3% of transaction amounts. The banks are killing it. The banks are making some good money. And most people aren't onto them yet. They're not aware of the solution here, cryptocurrency, but it's coming. I'm not even going over everything going on right now. Backed, Fidelity mining Bitcoin for the last three years. Bitcoin ETFs, Bitcoin futures, not even talking about any of that stuff right now. This is the common sense, simple level. Let's end it here by looking at an article about Amazon from 2001 by Melanie Warner. Can Amazon be saved? Jeff Bezos writes a new script. Too bad for investors. It is more fiction than fact. That condescending tone about somebody trying to innovate, about an entrepreneur trying to succeed, trying to build something big. I'm not going to go over this article, but we'll read the end. So yes, there is a chance that someday Amazon will grow up to be a company with real profits. Look at this sarcasm. But it will never be the high growth, wildly profitable, super efficient company of internet lore. The only place that company lives is in the history books and in the powerful imagination of Jeff Bezos. Oh, Melanie. This didn't age well. I mean, what is Jeff? He's like the most wealthy dude in the world. But it's a perfect example of this. When people get antsy about Bitcoin and say it's stupid, it's just because they're scared of it. They're scared it's going to explode and they don't have any. Same reason why so many people, if they're not a part of an innovation, if they're not a part of, a tech, an opportunity, really the only thing they're going to do is just forget about it or hate on it and hope for its failure. And that's what's going on right now in the world. But that's their choice. That's their prerogative. Maybe you're someone out there that hasn't really believed in Bitcoin and hasn't seen the opportunity. Maybe you just see this video and maybe the light bulb's going off, hopefully. Because this opportunity is not going to be here forever. I can tell you that. There's so much more to cover in regards to this topic of Bitcoin, why it's going to dominate. But these are just a few very, very simple to understand reasons. Didn't even go deep into it. There are many, many brilliant leaders in the space that can talk all day about the tech side of it and what it's doing for the world. Good things. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have any haters around you that just obviously they want to see cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, they want to see it fail? I'm curious. I see it all over the place. Let me know. Let me know how you're handling it. I hope you have an awesome day. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of the channel. As always, I will see you in the next video, and God bless.